Hello everyone, good morning, happy Friday. Thank God it's Friday, right? I'm doing a video standing up. I'm always sitting down, right? So I'm doing it standing up. Just a quick body shot. Alright, so I'm coming on here because I want to talk to you. You know, I've been seeing a few videos and I want to talk to you about restriction, and there has been like some type of confusion as to like not knowing when to get an unfill, right? I've been in that case, you know. I've had I believe 6 fills in the last 2 years and 1 unfill. Some people are afraid of getting an unfill because they tend to think that, well, if I get an unfill, I'll be able to eat and then I'll gain weight, right? But then people are so restricted to the point where they have a hard time getting food down. They're malnourishing their bodies, and some of them are even not able to consume liquids. That's a problem. That's when you know you have to get an unfill. You know, with the lap band, it's it's kind of hard to determine when to get an unfill because the band is very inconsistent, meaning that some days you're able to eat one thing and then another day you're not able to eat the same thing that you ate the previous day. So it's kind of hard. But when I talk to people that they say that they're throwing up every day, they're not able to get meat down, which is protein. You have to get protein in because then what happens is that you're going to become very weak. If you're a person that exercises, you're not going to be able to even exercise, You're not going to want to go anywhere because your body is so weak because, again, you're malnourishing your body. And it's going to come to a point where eventually you're so, you're not getting enough nutrients, that you're going to go into dehydration. And from that, you're going to end up in the hospital. So it's better to get a slight unfill than to continue throwing up your food every day. I've talked, I think, to maybe 2 or 3 people in the last week that had this same particular problem. And I understand. I've been at that point. I told you, I've been at a level of 6 cc's. I've learned that with my band, I can't go any higher than 6 cc's. But when I was at that point, I was so restricted that every other day I was throwing up my food. I felt like, seriously, like somebody that throws up their food constantly, without purposely throwing it up. But that's how it gets. It gets to a point where you're not able. I couldn't get any meat down. Understand? I wasn't getting any protein down. I was malnourishing my body, and that went on for a couple of months, And everybody kept saying, get an unfill, but I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to do it because I was like, well, if I do, then I could eat the foods, and then I'll probably gain weight, So I got to a point where I got stuck with corn, okay, with corn. Yeah, with corn. That's crazy, right? So I got stuck, and what ended up happening is that, let me tell you, that day that it happened, and I did get the video on YouTube. I'll probably post it and I'll probably link it down there. I ended up going to the hospital, and I remember just throwing up every maybe 10-15 minutes, right? And I was like, when it went on to the next day that I just kept throwing up, every 15 minutes, I was like, I can't do this anymore. I have to go in. And unfortunately, they had to unfill my band by, half of my cc's. I was 6 cc's, so it was like, all right, we have to unfill you by half, half of your fluids. So I ended up going all the way down to 3 cc's. Some people, when that happens, they I guess they empty out all your fluids. So you have to be careful, when stuff like that happens, because you end up rushing to the hospital and you have to get all your fluids emptied out. So you want to avoid that and go immediately, you know, when you have to go, when you think you're too tight, and just get a slight unfill. Something like 0.5 cc's, let's say you're at 5.5, 0.5 cc's is like 5 cc's. Something like that would make a big difference and allow you to eat. But with, I would say like some type of portion control, you know, or not allow you to get hungry as much as you know, as now that you're probably not able to eat anything, right? So always try to look for that. You know, again, talking from my experience, you know, it's not a good thing to be sick, because I remember driving from work too and just constantly throwing up in my car. It takes me at least like maybe 30-40 minutes to get home from New York to New Jersey. And I remember just having a bag there, and I got to a point where I was carrying you know, a plastic bag in my purse at all times because I was so bad. But going from Jersey to from New York to Jersey, sick in my car and throwing up, I almost got into an accident because I just kept throwing up. And it's all highway, you know, and you just can't pull over like nothing, you know. You just have to like find the time to pull over. So it's also, you know, dangerous to be at that state. So I just wanted to bring that up because I've found out that a lot of people are experiencing the same problem. Don't wait. Don't end up going to the hospital, you know, from dehydration or anything than that, like malnutrition. It's not healthy for your body. It's, you know, it's good when you're able to eat, you know, your protein and be able to get it down. So don't believe that having that much restriction is going to get you to your goal weight, because it's not. Okay. Somebody else made a video about restriction, that they're not restricted. Well, yeah, again, it was that they were too restricted, but you guys gotta know that when you do get a fill, there's certain things that you're gonna, you know, we are able to eat before we get a fill. Probably like I don't know, maybe whole wheat bread. Hold on, whole wheat bread and stuff like that. We are able to eat it before we get the restriction, right? And then when we do get enough restriction, we're not able to eat that anymore, and we go into the game thinking that we're still able to eat the same types of food that we were able to eat when, or some of us, I know not to, but some of us don't know, you know, and we go into thinking like, oh, well, I could still eat the same things I was eating before. No. You're going to have to learn. It's like starting all over. You're constantly learning with your band. Some of the things that you used to eat before, you're not going to be able to eat when you get that fill. You understand? So you're constantly learning what to eat and what not to eat. You understand? So it's a learning process that you're always learning. 2 years out, and I'm still learning about my lap band. You know, there's always something to learn about it. But yeah, I just wanted to bring that up because some people like tend to get confused, or some people tend to think that, oh, my band is not working and stuff like that. Watch your foods. Watch what you're doing. Watch what you're eating. Change your foods around, you know. See what works. See what doesn't work, you know. Don't test your band. I know sometimes we do, yeah, but don't continue to test it because it's not going to work. Food is going to get down, you know, stuck, and you're going to become sick, and it's not a good feeling. Let me tell you, there's been times where being sick has brought me down to my knees. There's been times where I thought that I was going to go into the emergency room. I mean, it was a feeling of desperation, you know, and anxiety, and like, what am I going to do? And then the look on my face, you know, you could tell when somebody gets stuck. Their look, their face is priceless. But it's not a good place to be in. And if you're constantly like PBing and throwing up all the time, get an Unfill. Please, you know, listen to me. It's so much better, okay? But that's the topic for today. I wanted to bring it up because I've just been seeing a lot of videos like that, and I'm like, I don't want people to be there because I was in that situation. I thought I wasn't going to lose weight. You lose the weight. You got to eat, and you got to exercise. You got to have enough energy. Do something about it. Don't continue with that much restriction if you can't get food down, if you can't get liquids down. Alright? Alright guys, happy Friday. Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.